because we get so frustrated. Like, well, I paid my dues. I paid. No, you haven't. Like you said you wanted something, and you said, you wanted to be a producer, but you wanted to do this and do that. It's going to add more to it when you want more. So by the grace of God, my dad was able to loan me some money to get new equipment.
Wow.
But it was such a hardship because I couldn't trust anybody to come in my house anymore. So I lost that business, So I didn't know. I still was like, that was helping me, pay for the bills and stuff in LA is not cheap at all.
And you didn't have renter's insurance, right?
I did not. I did not have renter's insurance. And I think somebody tried to tell me about it, and I was like, I don't know if I can afford it. I'm young, and I'm just like, that's whatever. And so it was one of those tough moments that you had to really, think about what it is that you really want out of this thing.
Sure.
And so I had to create my everything back from scratch, my trust around the community. And it was huge for me because I was sitting there thinking, how am I going to get to this impossible dream?
Yeah.
And what happened was I sat, on a couch of a friend that I knew very, not very well, but he was actually from my hometown of Seattle. I'm from Seattle. And he was living in LA as well, being a DJ. And I sat there on his couch. I was humble and I said, man, I just need some help. I know you're doing mixtapes. Maybe I can put some of my music with some of your mixtape artists. And that's how we started the production company, The Bizness. I said, hey, man, if I put my beats with your stuff, and he was a good hustler. He was a good grinding dude. Yeah. And I realized I needed help, but really I needed more faith back then. I needed more faith in God to say, he's going to lead me the way. But there's so many times where you're going to hit this hardship and you're going to think that you're going to need so many different things that are externally, and really it's coming from within. It's coming from God.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you, within the next that relationship that I had as a production team, we won awards, we had hits, but I saw something. God told me, I have something more for you. You said back then, way in that impossible dream when you're 16, 17 years old, that you wanted to be great.
Wow.
So I want more from you. And the greatness is not about getting what it is for you. It's about giving what you have to others. And so these last 5 years, when I said, I have a different calling in my life, and I broke up our partnership, and I was going in a different direction, God said, you know what? There's a lot more dues you need to pay.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to get back and jump. I couldn't go from a mountain to a mountain. I had to get back in the valley. And so it was very hard times for me, knowing that I had to really figure out how to build relationships, because I was just making music and he was grinding.
I
had to figure out how to do small talk. My dad said, you need to perfect your elevator pitch. I was like, I don't know how to do that.
And everything is sales, whether you realize it or not.
Exactly.
Everything is sales. I want to throw that in. I know you guys are going, what? You'll get that in a later video, but trust me.
Everything. You're right. I mean, so there were so many points of my career, even in these last 20 years, that have been bumps, bruises, situations to where you had a great experience or a great moment, but you didn't maybe get paid for it. You didn't get the credit for it. You got, something stolen from you, or even, somebody tried to say that it was theirs instead of yours. You can have all these situations to where you're going to have to fight.
Yes.
You're going to have to fight it. You're going to have to fight for what you want. And so there's been many moments that's happened, but what stayed true was my belief that it could happen.
There it is.
And that's what's always started from the jump. When I was a young kid, I said, I know it's going to happen. And if I could say one thing to all those who might be watching, it's making the decision to tell yourself that it's possible. That's really where it started. And so everything about my career was saying that it was possible. When people told me that I was crazy in 2015, that I shut my complete studio down with all the bells and whistles that I had in my studio and said, I'm just going to create with an iPad. They thought I was crazy. Everybody was like, you couldn't do it.
Right.
There's no way to be professional that way. And now I'm sitting there doing it and showing thousands of people how to do it every week, So it's a blessing to know that there's pitfalls, there's shortcomings, but at the end of the day, you can get it when you believe and you work hard, and you know that when you have a shortcoming or something that's hardship in your life, that means you're getting closer.
Yeah, see that.
You're getting closer.
That's the key when you're going through some things, to know that
Yeah.
it's part of the process.